And got a feeling we might be able to add another back to that after what we saw in week 1. And Kelly Maxwell ready to fire the first pitch of game 2 and just misses low. Let's take a look at the batting orders. A little bit of a different look. 3 different teams, each getting an at-bat. The white team being led off with Tiare Jennings, Kinsey Hansen, Riley Boone, and Hannah Core. The gray team being led by Jada Coleman. The freshman Ella Parker getting her start in game 2 as well, as the 1-0 swung straight through by Jennings, and Maxwell had a little bit of oomph behind that. But our batting order brought to you by Buick GMC dealers. See your Oklahoma Buick GMC dealer today. Jennings awaits the 1-1 from senior Kelly Maxwell. Lefty fires, lifted well to right field. But Lily Oagleva for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, and you talked about back-to-back-to-back, possibly another one. Team's looking good, but whenever you have that much talent on one team, you can see Lilio going a little crazy in right field. Whenever you have that much talent on one team, that's where the fall and scrimmaging against each other, the battle series, becomes an advantage. You get to play high-quality talent, high-quality pitching, high-quality defense, offense in the fall. And you get prepared and you get ready and you get sharpened faster than a lot of other teams in the nation because you're doing these battle series.
Kinsey Hansen stands in, takes the first offering for call strike 1. But here's a little bit, and kind of talking about that, Nicole, the battle series point system. Each win earns a team 50 points. An inning win, so the small things, winning every inning, will earn 10. The MVP of the game earning points for their team as well. But the pitcher's able to do their job as well, earning points for strikeouts. So not just able to earn points, Nicole, but there's also places in there where points can be negated.
Right, so as somebody who's on the offensive side, the only way that you can lose points is by getting caught thrown out at a base. That'll always be -10. That's the only way you can lose points offensively. Pitchers, however, they have a different story. That one fouled back by Kinsey Hansen.
Pitchers 1-2, but Maxwell ready to fire the 1-2 to Kinsey Hansen. Go ahead, Nicole.
Pitchers, they lose 10 points every time that there's an earned run hit off of them. So they have, I guess, a little bit more of a frequency to lose points than the offense does.
It's the life of a pitcher, right?
The life of a pitcher.
Maxwell,
they also have more chances to earn points, though, so checks and balances.
Gets the sign, fires the 1-2. Nice rise, just misses upstairs. And Kelly Maxwell, Oklahoma State transfer, finding a home here in Norman. And, you know,
kind of weird seeing her in the crimson, I won't lie.
It is, but I'm
it.
excited about it. I'm happy about it. I have been a huge Kelly Maxwell fan ever since she was a freshman. She just throws so well as she brings the 2-2. Line drive right to short, but what a play! Tiare Jennings leaping up to snag the line drive for out number 2. Or excuse me, Alyssa Brito. I'm making things up. Alyssa Brito making the snag at short. And we're going to set the defense here for you shortly, but what a play by Brito.
I mean, this one was an absolute rocket. And Brito, you can see her first step. She anticipates it going up the middle. She's able to make the nice leaping grab. But you said Jennings, Brito's there. You're going to see Avery Hodge in short as well. Again, the wealth of position opportunities for all of these players is unreal.
2 quick outs for Kelly Maxwell in the circle as the first pitch to Riley Boone is fouled straight back. And Maxwell's done such a good job of working ahead here in this top half of the first.
I mean, that's what she's known for, is being able to get ahead in the count and then get hitters to swing at pitches that they don't necessarily want to swing at.
Pitchers' pitches, right?
Yeah.
The 0-1 fouled straight back, and Riley Boone aggressive, trying to get something moving with 2 outs for the white team in the top of the first. Boone stands in, nobody on, and 2 outs as she awaits the 0-2 offering from Kelly Maxwell. Just misses outside. I love the lefty-lefty matchup, especially with 2 strikes. Seeing that curveball working off the plate, trying to get a good bite, but good discipline by Riley Boone.
Yeah, Riley Boone actually not towed up on that line, a little bit off. So for her, a little bit off the plate outside looks like way off the plate outside. So she's clearly looking for that inside pitch.
1-2 just tapped foul, and Boone stays alive.
Rocha excited about the chance to work with Kelly. I mean, she's been playing against her for several years now, but the opportunity to work with a strong lefty pitcher like her who's mature, she knows her game, she knows her pitches, but to be able to tweak it, and now she has a fantastic defense behind her. This is going to be fun seeing what that ends up being.
Ooh, 1-2, little off speed, just misses low and away, but again, good discipline by Riley Boone in the box.
Yeah, you could see she really wanted to go for that, but just not breaking that wrist, keeping it back, barely. Left the bat there a little bit longer so the umpire could see too.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. I love the location, taking a little off it. Maxwell brings the 2-2, popped up. If it hangs, it should stay. Parker and Ludlam collide in foul territory. A little bit of miscommunication, and Boone's going to get another shot here.
Yeah, I mean, two newbies. You could hear them both calling for that ball. With that, I think that might be Parker's ball just because it's easier for her to see as she's coming in. She's tracking it well. Ludlam still kind of going to the ball. She's far enough away that I think that's Parker's ball. But that's what the fall is about, getting out of your routine, playing with different people, learning how to communicate. That's all part of it.
And Maxwell will take care of it herself, bringing so a little bit of a different look.
Kelly Maxwell, she got 15 points on pitchers outs, 2 points on strikeouts, and then 2 points because she got the leadoff out. She's technically on team 2, but she pitched in the first inning. So it just kind of rotates around for the pitchers, but everybody else is set and on their teams as we get started in the middle of this first inning.
A lot of moving parts as Jada Coleman takes the first pitch low from Nicole May. But 3 offensive teams, 3 teams as a whole, and we're going to go ahead and say top of the inning, middle of the inning for team 2 when they are batting in the bottom of the inning, as the 1-0 comes way inside, is going to catch Jada Coleman on that Evo shield. She looks to be okay as she heads down to first base, but lead off on for team 2. Pitch just got away from Nicole May.
Now trying to go up and in on Coleman. She loves swinging and turning and burning on that pitch, so May knows she has to be tight, but was a little bit too tight on that one.
Freshman Ella Parker, the lefty, stands in. Jada Coleman at first base. And Ella Parker, what a smooth, confident look she has in the box as the first pitch just misses outside.
Like we've been saying that a lot about the freshmen so far this year. We have freshman Cassidy Pickering out in left field right now. There's a lot of confidence. There's a lot of swag. They came ready to play.
1-0 just got a piece. Got away from Ludlam. You saw
Coleman was ready.
About took off, but
he was ready for plus 10.
Good hack from Ella Parker. Now, something I've really enjoyed in the 1 week I've gotten to watch Parker is just the demeanor in the box. For a freshman, it's the 1-1, just misses low, gets away from Ludlam, and Coleman takes off as she will take second base on the pass ball. And just like that, team 2, the gray team, has got a runner in scoring position with nobody out for the freshman.
At Ludlam, that ball kind of drifted low and away, right outside of the glove, and Coleman, she already knew that happened once with the foul ball. She's looking for it. Any way that she can get plus 10 points, she's on it.
2-1, popped foul. Count runs even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. You know, and that's something, I mean, Jada Coleman, a senior, a veteran, she's seen it all, she's done it all. But part of what makes Jada Coleman so good is the fact that she does the little things better than anybody. She does the little things well. Cole May fires the 2-2, swing and a miss, as May gets the freshman Parker on a little bit of off speed for the strikeout, and nice change of pace from Nicole May.
You saw her go hard, hard, hard. This one, I think this is the pitch that was missing that last at bat. But able to let it just die off. Nicole May, whenever her off speed is working, she has 3 different levels, 3 different speeds that she can go to. I mean, that's why she was so strong in the circle last year.
Lena Torres stands in with the runner at second and 1 out. Big lead from Jada Coleman at second as first pitch misses low.
And I love this. You talked about Jada's big lead. She's testing Ludlam, seeing how much she can get away with. That's just the type of player Coleman is. But also, Ludlam, she's learning, okay, if they're going to push, can I throw here? Should I throw here? She's looking at her. She's standing up. She's saying, hey, you got a big lead one time, but not again. I'm going to make sure that you get back to that bag. It's the way that they play is aggressive. It's smart. It's looking not just one step ahead, but 2. And that's why it is so important to have these competitions against each other.
1-1, fouled straight back. Good hack from Torres. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. But no, I agree. And it's that continuous feel of putting pressure, right? We've seen this OU team put pressure on other teams, other defenses. But they do that because that is the expectation at practice every day. It's applying pressure and being able to step up in those pressure situations. As Torres stays alive and fouls the 1-2 straight back. And great team coming out swinging, coming out aggressive.
I love that. And Nicole May immediately felt that.
I always felt this as a pitcher. Someone fouls a ball straight back,
they're right on it.
You got to do something different. You took the words out of my mouth. The 1-2 is laced down the left field line. It's going to get to the corner. Jada Coleman will score. Torres rounds first and dives into second base, and she's got an RBI double to put the gray team on top. 1-0, and that pitch was laced down the left field line by Alina Torres. And Jada Coleman knew it from the get-go. She was gone.
Yeah, I don't know don't have the numbers yet, but this was a hard hit ball. I'm thinking +3 on that one. Had to be 60 plus. But it almost was too hard. It got there so quickly. Pickering was at second, or Pickering threw the ball to second and almost got Torres out because of how hard the ball was hit. But I think she was anticipating that up pitch. Nicole May threw a rise ball on that one. She was throwing a lot of curveballs, a lot of off speed, staying lower in the zone. And you saw the foul ball, and we talked about it. If you foul it straight back, you know there's an adjustment. As a hitter, if you foul it straight back, you know the pitcher probably won't go there again. So you could see that anticipation and adjustment.
Avery Hodge stands in, takes the first pitch just a bit outside. Good location, but just missed out. Nicole May looking to work out of a little bit of a jam here. Runner at second, 1 out. As she faces the lefty, Avery Hodge. Hodge takes the 1-0, gets away from Ludlam. But Torres is going to retreat back to second base. Good job by Ludlam staying on top of it. But you talked about this a little bit, Nicole, as you know, Ludlam seeing a pitch on the outside corner, just getting away from her. Ludlam, the transfer from Furman, a veteran, a senior, but still having to learn this pitching stuff.
Yeah, it pitches, they spin, they move, but also Ludlam called time, went and got a different glove. They're still trying to break in the new gloves, especially being a transfer. You get new gloves. You want to be able to have that ball not pop out. Hodge kind of offered, took it for a strike on that one on the outside corner. But Ludlam able to hang on to that low and away pitch with the new glove.
Hey, sometimes that's all it takes.
Sometimes it is the glove.
May set to bring the 2-1 to Avery Hodge. Just misses upstairs and falls behind here. 3 balls and a strike. 1 out with Alina Torres at second base as Kinsey Hansen, who's playing first in this defensive rotation, goes and has a chat with Nicole May. May set to fire the 3-1 and just misses low. Avery Hodge aboard after the 1-out walk. And what are you seeing here from May?
See, May, she's kind of closing the hip off a little bit too soon, so everything's drifting outside. It's tailing down, it's tailing off. And then whenever she adjusts, she stays wide open, and that pitch is left a little bit too much over the plate. So she's trying to make adjustments. You can see the differences in pitches, but it's just allowing that arm to come through a little bit sooner before that hip. Fresh feet on that one. That rise ball, nice. On the corner, called for a strike.
Nellie McEnroe-Marinas, the freshman, stands in with runners at first and second, and one out as first pitch catches the top of the zone for strike one, and the 0-1 swung straight through, and just like that, Nicole May on top. No balls and 2 strikes, and a place we haven't seen Nicole a lot in this inning. And if anyone knows the importance of working ahead in counts, it's Nicole May.
Yeah, and with this setup, every pitch counts, every run counts, every inning counts. So to be able to minimize damage, you get a runner on first, that's dangerous. You get a runner on second, that's even more dangerous. That's a golden bag. With less than 2 outs, that's something that you want to minimize even more. So getting ahead, super important in this at-bat.
May hit the signal and set to fire the 0-2 to Nellie McEnroe-Marinas. 0-2 swung on and missed on the rise ball. And there's that 2-strike pitch that Nicole May's been looking for. Getting that rise ball through the zone.
That rise ball starts, you can see it starts at the belt line and then just jumps up super high. She's not wanting it to be too close to the zone. It jumps up super high above the eyes. She wants it out of the zone whenever you're ahead 0-2. You don't want it anywhere near.
Ground ball by Jada Coleman right back to May in the circle. She backhands it and gets rid of Jada Coleman, and that's a huge out for Nicole May. But the gray team, first team to strike as they get a run on the board. We head to the bottom of the first inning with the pink team ready to take it off.
Night in the fall in Oklahoma. We have the sunset approaching. We have the pride of Oklahoma out there.
Can't draw it up much better than this, as the freshman Cassidy Pickering stands in and takes the first pitch she sees. A little low, but in for strike one. S.J. Gearin in the circle facing the pink team, and Gearin actually a member of the white team, Team 1, and may throw against her own team at some point, but earning points for the white team. She fires the 1-1 and misses upstairs to the freshman. And Nicole, I know you have a fond place in your heart for Pickering. You've known her a long time, but
I do.
What a night she had here last week in Battle Series game number 1.
I mean, my fondness also can separate itself and recognize she's a baller. Cassidy Pickering is going to be a name that you're going to want to watch. She's a player who's fun to watch, and she's going to make an impact right away. I'm calling it right here, right now. She is from Humboldt, Texas, and she loves to be aggressive. She loves to play. She's a smart player. She thinks ahead. She likes the challenge. She loves the idea of iron sharpens iron, and that's what Oklahoma is all about.
2-2s popped up on the infield, and Avery Hodge will glove it for the first out of the inning. Just got a little bit jammed there. Nice location from S.J. Gearin.
Speaking of defense, we have Torres at third, Hodge at short, Jennings at second, Ella Parker at first base. And then the outfield left to right, we have Hannah Kaur in left, Jada Coleman in center, and Riley Boone in right field. And behind the plate, we have Kinsey Hansen.
Lissa Burrito stands in to face Gearin as she takes the first pitch upstairs.
Talk about somebody who's fun to watch. Burrito, she's really come into her own since coming to Oklahoma. You see her personality, you see her competitiveness come out and shine. She's the fun one to watch. Yeah.
So much passion for the game, and nice curveball from the lefty and catches the inside corner for called strike one.
Yeah, that was placed perfectly, and you could see Burrito, she didn't buckle back, but you could tell she wanted to. That pitch right on the corner, that was nice.
Burrito stands in, and 1-1 misses up, but I think there's going to be so many things, especially as the fall continues on and we go into the spring season, but, that people remember about last season's team, right? And, the run that team had and everything that team accomplished. There's going to be a lot of people remembering the passion that Alyssa Brito brought in the postseason as the 2-1, a little bit of a check swing, and they're going to say she went for strike 2. Count runs to 2 balls and 2 strikes to Alyssa Brito. But nice location. What do you think, Mindy?
I think she went through. That barrel kind of broke, and you could see the bat extend past the halfway point.
And that 2-2 pitch, same location, screwball on the outside, and Guerin gets Brito for her first strikeout, and what a screwball.
Yeah, that one just a little bit farther out, and you could tell Brito not wanting to be caught looking again. She's trying to protect, trying to battle, but that was nice by Guerin. We talked whenever the second team was up, whenever grade team was up, they were aggressive at the plate. I'm feeling SJ aggressive here on the mound early.
Ludlam, first pitch, hacking ground ball right to third base, and Torres fires it across, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for SJ Guerin, and getting the job done for the white team. Maxwell fires the first pitch and just painting that curveball on the inside corner to Avery Hodge for strike 1. I nerd out a little bit up here with the lefty curveball just breaking the knee on the inside corner to righties.
Hey, let's nerd out.
It's a
What's
it's
not
such
to
a
love?
great location. Maxwell brings the 0-1, and it's lifted foul to the right side and quickly ahead here, no balls and 2 strikes. Hannah Kaur, the sophomore, has 32 points coming into game 2. Such a versatile player in Hannah Kaur and all the things that she can do.
Injured last year, now she's back, better than ever. Healthy spine.
0-2, little off speed, misses in the dirt.
And I mean, I thought she was good last year, even whenever she was hurt. I'm excited to see as she starts to get back into the swing of things and get more comfortable. What's she gonna do? What is she gonna look like come January, February?
So many different things that Hannah Kaur can do. As the 1-2 is laced right back up the middle, and Hannah Kaur lead-off single to give the white team their first hit of the day.
Jada kind of anticipating, knowing the speed of Kaur, that she was gonna get a big round at first. And Kaur, nice job connecting through this hard line drive up the middle, but Coleman thinking, hey, I might be able to get her out at first, and she throws. Kaur for a second had to scramble back just to not get tagged out.
Jennings stands in. But that's part of that competitive nature, right, that you see in this battle series as first pitch to Jennings misses upstairs for a ball. But almost Jada Coleman saying, you know what? That ball was hit hard. I dare you to take a big turn. Because had Kaur rounded first hard, Coleman would have backpicked her. She would have backpicked her. .1-0 popped foul and out of play. Jennings popped up to right field in her first at bat.
That's where Kelly does her best work, is working that curveball inside half to righties, and then also with the back door, making them a tad bit early, making them reach out in front. It looks so good. They know it's going to bend back over, but not waiting until it comes all the way.
1-1.
Or with a little smile. Hard takeoff. Got the dugout to scream runner. You saw Ludlam come up hard.
I feel like if Coach had her way, that would be negative points to the dugout, but positive points to Hannah Kaur.
Absolutely.
1-1 misses upstairs, and Maxwell set to fire the 2-1. Lifted well to left field, but it's going to die as Pickering gloves it, and Kaur retreats back to first base for the first out of the inning. I bring up Kinsey Hansen.
I thought that one had potential at first.
It came off the bat well. It did.
It
looked like
just
it got hung
kind of
up.
slowed, and Pickering got behind it. And you could see Core, she was getting ready to round second, thought twice, and said, maybe I should head back to first.
I truly expected to see Pickering catch that at the warning track, and I would say it got hung up in the wind, but flags
There's
are dead.
none.
We've got nothing here.
4 miles an hour.
First pitch to Hansen, gets away in the dirt, and Core will move up to second base on the wild pitch. It's Kinsey Hansen as a duck on the pond for the white team. But that pitch just bouncing in front of the plate. Ludlam trying to keep it in front. He's getting away from Maxwell a bit. She falls behind 1 ball and no strikes to Kinsey Hansen.
Ludlam, she's been getting a lot of balls low in the zone, dropping off. She's definitely been having to work hard for that.
1-0 misses upstairs. You know, and it's also, too, we talked about this a little bit, Ludlam, the Furman transfer. But learning these pitchers, learning, you know, it was just a half inning ago we saw Ludlam catching Nicole May, right?
Yeah.
So it's just such a different look each half inning as the 2-0 misses way in, and Maxwell behind here to K9, 3 balls and no strikes.
Get skinny was probably going through Hansen's mind whenever she dodged that pitch. Actually did like a little 360 twirl to get away from it.
Maxwell looking to bring the count back. 3-0 misses up, and it's a 4-pitch walk to Kinsey Hansen. Put runners at first and second with 1 out for Riley Boone. Looks like we're going to see courtesy runner, if you will, for Hannah Core. Tiara Jennings checks in at second base.
Core on deck. That's the good and bad side. Whenever you get a lot of runners on, you're going to have to use those pinch runners because Core's on deck, but she was just on second base.
Well, it keeps you on your toes, right? A lot of moving parts. I think I'm going to say that a million times tonight. It's the first pitch to Riley Boone, finds the zone for called strike 1. Boone struck out back in the first. And Coach Gasso heading out to have a chat with Kelly Maxwell in her infield. What do you want to see from Maxwell here? Runners at first and second, 1 out. What's the conversation going on here?
If I'm coach, I'm saying, hey, give me something that gets hit into the ground. We want to roll up this runner. We want to get out of this inning, minimize the damage, trust your defense, feed something. They know Riley Boone, she likes to pull the ball. Give her something where she's going to roll over, something easy to cue, maybe toss it over to Brito at short, then toss it back over to Ella over at first. So
right.
that's kind of the game plan right here, minimize the damage.
Throw a ground ball, right? Let your defense work. Maxwell brings the 0-1, nice curveball, and Boone can't hold up, and Maxwell ahead here, no balls and 2 strikes. The white team looking to get on the board as far as runs go. Again, each team able to earn points individually, able to earn points for their team. Maxwell brings the 0-2, ground ball right back to her, but it's going to bounce over Maxwell's head. Lilio's got to be quick, but she will get Boone at first base for the second out of the inning. Both runners move up. We said we wanted a ground ball.
That one a little bit too choppy to get the double play, but nice shot by Lilio, staying low on it, being able to get the out at first, because Boone, she's not a slow runner. And that one was pretty much by second base, stationary, having to go off the weight on the backhand and just be able to throw quick release to get Boone out at first. 2 outs still. You can still minimize the damage. Again, ball on the ground, get something out.
Hannah Core got everything going for the white team in this inning with a single as she takes the first pitch for called strike 1. Runners at second and third, 2 outs.
I'm doing her job back there getting that call for Maxwell. That one a little bit off the plate.
Maxwell brings the 0-1. Little bit of a check swing as Ludlam fires down to third to try to back pick. Gets away, and Riley Boone will score after the throw. Plunked her in the back. But
Riley Boone again pinch hitting for Hannah Core, who was up to bat. In case you hear any confusion. Yeah, Ludlam trying to get there. I think Torres, she's behind third base, and she's trying to reach out in front of Riley Boone to be able to get. You can see Riley Boone holding her back as she comes into home. At least we know it was a hard throw.
This is true. The 1-1, nice curveball, paints the inside corner. Maxwell had here 1 ball and 2 strikes, and that's a good point, Mendez. You know, Riley Boone, who just grounded out. Each of these teams, again, split into thirds, if you will. Riley Boone grounded out, but then went into pinch run.
For Hannah Core.
For Hannah Core, who had already been pinch run for by Tiara Jennings. So,
who is actually now up to bat. It's chaos. Go. That's what it is.
But that's part of the beauty of it, right? As
I'm sure if you're Coach Gasso, you're telling the team, hey, you got to think on the fly. She's giving the positive twist of, this is adversity. You got to have heads up. You got to know how many outs are. You got to know when you're up to bat. Keep your head on a swivel. If you're on defense, Riley Boone running, that's automatically a threat on the base path versus maybe somebody who's slower.
1-2 is grounded to Torres at third. She will fire it across, and Maxwell minimizes the damage, as Nicole would like to see in the last decade, what they have done in the last 3 years, 5 years, you name it. They've done it, and it has become this story, this culture of its own. And you know, it's something I'd like to say. Be real, I don't know if we will see again in sports for a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, what she's been able to do and how she's been able to curate her staff. One she raised, the other one played for her. I mean, doesn't get more homegrown than that. But she knows how to get people to work for her, and that's the most important thing.
Ella Parker, the freshman, leading it off for the gray team here in the middle of the second inning. Fouls off the 1-1. And Nicole May ahead here, 1 ball and 2 strikes to the freshman. Parker struck out in her first at bat, but gotta say, this freshman class is so impressive in everything that they do. And Ella Parker and what she has already shown in the box, but such a composed freshman so far in everything that I feel like I've seen from her, and just so smooth.
Very quiet confidence. You can tell she has a plan. She knows when to attack, when to hold off.
2-2 misses a little low, and count runs full, showing that patience. But man, this signing class, the 2023 signing class, Nellie Macaron-Marinas, the number 6 player. Ella Parker, the number 3 player in the country. Cassidy Pickering, the number 4. Maya Bland, the number 11. I mean, all of these freshmen who have successes walking in here as the 3-2s fouled straight back. But we were talking so much about the culture and how Coach Gasso puts her staffs together. But this team just continues to reload, and it's just a seamless transition. Pickering out left. 3-2 line drive in the right center field gap. Parker is gonna round first and dive into second base safely, and it is a lead-off double for the freshman, right on cue. Talking about what a stud this freshman class is. Ella Parker went ahead and said, you know what, I can show you how good we are.
This one off speed but left over the plate, unlike the earlier off speed that got the strikeout. Nicole May leaving it a little bit too much on the plate. You see a hard hit in the gap, but great job by Hannah Core. She tracked that down. You can see the smile from Jennings, keeping that glove on there the whole time just to make sure she doesn't get off the bag whenever she stands up. Let's set defense for you, though. At third, we have Burrito, shortstop. Tiara Jennings, second base. Quincy Lilio, first base. We have Ludlam.
As Torres shows bunts, pulls back, but Gonna be a called strike. A little questionable, a little outside.
But hey, Kenzie Hansen's behind the plate, and she works hard. She works hard for her pitchers, getting those strikes. Out in left, we have Cassidy Pickering. Center, Riley Boone. And then in right field with the awesome throw, you have Hannah Core.
The 0-1 lifted to right field. Core is on her horse. She'll make the catch on the line. Parker tags up and moves up to third, but Hannah Core showing out in right field. Reading the ball well. Off the bat. She's taking good angles out there in right.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about what is she going to look like in January, February. I mean, look at her right now. She's showing out. She's moving. She's tracking stuff down. We already know that she has speed. Coach talked last year about her outfield IQ and being able to understand and get great jumps immediately off the bat. That is definitely her strength as an outfielder. So looking forward to see where that goes.
Avery Hodge stands in, takes the first pitch way upstairs for a ball. And good job, Ella Parker tagging up on the foul.
She said, "Ooh, I'm winded."
Tell you what, we've talked so much about Hannah Core, and I have been impressed just in this inning alone with her efficiency in the outfield. I mean, there are no wasted steps.
No wasted. She's still winded out there. She's like, yeah, I'm good. You got it.
A little bit of a meeting here between Kenzie Hansen, Nicole May in that infield. Meeting broken up, but
again, it's the important part of you have a runner at third, one out. Avery Hodge is up. She can swing, she can slap, she can bunt. And if they score, they're primed to take the lead. They're primed to win the inning, right? And it's all about winning the inning.
1-0 misses up. And McKay. Wanted to combine Nicole and May all in one. Nicole May falls behind here. 2 balls and no strikes to Avery Hodge. 2-0. Catches a corner for strike 1. Hodge walked in her first at bat. Looking to get the Gray team another run here in the middle of the second inning. 2-1, swung straight through, and
that's the off speed that Parker hit hard in the gap, but difference, Nicole May making that adjustment, not leaving it over the middle of the plate, but this one on the outer half, it's still maybe not dropping. That one rose a little bit, but it's on the outer half of the plate, and that's what's most important whenever you're throwing it off speed, because anything over the middle of the plate with this offense is dangerous. You see that as Hodge fouls that one back.
And I think, too, we talk about the change of speeds. I think pitchers get so caught up, and Nicole May knows this as good as anyone. She changes speeds so well, but changing speeds isn't enough. You have got to locate, because there's a difference in timing between an off speed on the inner part of the plate and an off speed on the outer part of the plate. As the 2-2 is fouled off, and Avery Hodge stays alive. And I would be curious to know pitch count on Nicole May. It feels like she's thrown a lot of pitches.
I think we're in sync, because I was just thinking that she was struggling to get strikes across the plate last inning. This inning, she's getting them across the plate, but there's a lot of foul balls. There's a lot of full counts, deep counts, high pitch counts. They're seeing it.
And there's a nice pitch on the outside corner to sit Avery Hodge down
just
on strikes.
Yeah.
Nice location and changing the eyes and breaking the knee.
Yeah, this is one of the first screwballs that I've seen from Nicole May that's really gone through the zone. You could see Hodge. She knew on that one as she runs back into the dugout. That was a great pitch by May.
Nellie McEnroe-Marinas stands in with a runner at third and 2 outs. She takes the first pitch low for a ball. Marinas struck out back in the first inning, and as I'm watching May tonight, and I say this with high standards for Nicole May, as she would expect us to have, right? It's the 1-0 misses way in, and they're going to say it hit Marinas. And Even though Marinas was hit by the pitch, Hannah Core is going to head down to first base.
Avery Hodge.
Or excuse me, Avery Hodge is going to head down to first base, but got her right on the thigh to bring up Jada Coleman with runners at first and third. And looks like we're going to have another courtesy runner in Alina Torres at third base.
You see coach whipping out the card, calling some action. This is prime. You have Jada Coleman up, runners on first and third. Even though there's 2 outs, there's still a chance to cause some chaos. Get that one run across. That's what it's all about.
Good lead by Hodge at first base, and
good snag by Hansen.
Yes. Pitch misses way low and away for a ball. And I would expect to see some first and third action here. The 1-0 misses low. But I kind of want to finish the thought. We were talking a little bit about Nicole May. I don't feel like she is at her best here this evening. Not seeing some of the movement at times, working behind in counts. Not that she's throwing poorly. She's gotten some big strikeouts when she's needed it. So 2-0 misses in the dirt, gets away from Hansen. Hodge will move up, but Torres is going to stay put. Good job by Kinsey Hansen playing the hop off the backstop.
Hey, I can't blame her. Kinsey Hansen, that ball, as soon as it got past her, she was immediately on it. She knew where it was going. If you're a catcher watching this, watch how quickly she tracks this ball. Like, even if Torres decided to go all the way home, that would have been a close call. And you can see her crash and then all of a sudden say, no, 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 she's on that. That'll be too close. You never want to get thrown out at home.
And it's a good decision by Torres.
It's knowing your speed.
Yes.
I think sometimes people think it's a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's being a smart runner, knowing when you can take that gamble and when maybe you don't want to. You never want to take that gamble whenever you're at third going home. Maybe it's a little bit better to take the gamble whenever you're at first trying to get to second.
And you also have Jada Coleman in the box, right? Let her drive you in as the 3-0 green light is fouled back and out of play. Jada Coleman, an opportunity to earn some points, walked into this game leading all players in points at 187. She's also earned some points here this evening. May brings a 3-1, and nice location for called strike 2, and that
was a curveball right on that corner. Cole May hasn't thrown that curveball with that much speed yet tonight. Man, waist high. You could see Coleman almost flinch a little bit. Didn't think that it was on the inside half. But that was a great pitch by May.
May fires the 3-2, lifted to left field. But Pickering is going to get underneath it. And May working out of a jam. Her first at-bat of the evening. S.J. Guerin fires and just misses upstairs for a ball. Pink team went 1-2-3 in the first inning. Looking for their first base runner of the ball game. I'm DJ Sanchez alongside Nicole Mendez.
Leo showing bunt. That defense was deep.
Yep.
They were far back. Not to get complacent, not to get on your heels, but Lilio, she can lay it down as well. She can slap. She is a triple threat. She's not the fastest runner, but she can place the ball really well. SJ.
A little bit off that 2-0. Gotta love a hitter's
said,
count off speed.
Don't show that around again.
Count runs of 2 balls and a strike to Lilio. Throw it again, SJ. As 2-1, she's going to go with a curveball instead and paint the outside corner. Count runs even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. I've been impressed with the way Guerin's moved the ball. I mean, we've only seen her for a half of an inning, but a lot of confidence.
A lot of aggression. Got behind, but immediately comes back. She's not afraid to throw any pitch in any count.
2-2 is hammered. Foul and hit the light pole.
Hammered indeed. That didn't just hit the light pole. I think that actually hit the light. That ball was a shot from Lilio.
Do the 2-2 again.
Keeps that fair, and she'll be trotting around the bases.
Say this. Expect a change of speeds, but you better get it low. So 2-2 is off speed and just a bit low. Good discipline by Quincy Lilio as the count runs full. I like the location, just got to have a little bit more deception on that pitch.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you're Lilio, you know that pitch is coming as well. You took it. You were way out of balance earlier in the count. That one fouled off. But being able to say, all right, just because it's a changeup doesn't mean I have to swing. I think that's something that gets a lot of hitters sometimes is they see the changeup, and it's not like they're off speed for it. But they're like, it's a changeup, I got to swing, and it's not even a strike. So that was great discipline on Lilio's part.
Guerin fires the 3-2 off speed, in for called strike 3, and SJ dealing as she sits down her 4th batter in a row, and love the 3-2 changeup call.
Yeah, that one's so pretty. Again, not afraid to throw any pitch in any count. She fired it right in there. That's her 2nd K and 4 batters.
Just challenging.
She's not playing around tonight.
No. Stepping up as the freshman Cassidy Pickering stands in and coming out aggressive. She takes a hack on that first pitch.
Way back when, Pickering and SJ actually used to play on the same travel ball team. So they're very familiar with each other. They've known each other probably since they were about 10. This is a familiar matchup.
One little bit of a check swing, but gonna get foul, and Guerin ahead again. No balls and 2 strikes.
I think she's done the best so far in getting ahead, being aggressive. Pickering, she's calling time, talking to coach really quick, but going back to SJ, she's been the most aggressive with getting ahead in the count, and she has been the most consistent with landing her pitches on the corners and the rivers of the plate. That, I think, is the biggest difference. I think SJ is what we're wanting to see from the other two tonight. Kelly Maxwell, don't get me wrong, she's done a great job. Her movement is unreal, but I think sometimes she doesn't land those curveballs on that corner or the river, and that's why maybe some of those get a hit.
Absolutely, and 0-2 misses upstairs, but I agree, Nicole. SJ's been efficient, and you can see each pitch having a purpose. And again, not that we're not seeing that from the entire staff, but just the efficiency is the word I'm going to continue to go back to with SJ. And another check swing from Cassidy Pickering. Pickering walking into tonight, the freshman, 164 points in game 1. Second behind Jada Coleman, but the freshman having a heck of a debut last week as the 1-2 is called for strike 3 on the outside corner, and it is back-to-back Ks looking for Guerin.
Hey, she's not messing around. I think Pickering is thinking off speed, trying to see that pitch all the way in, but lefties, man, they're dangerous. That curveball just continues to go all the way cross plate. Again, landing on that river, landing on the corner of that plate.
Brito stands in with nobody on and 2 outs. First pitch hacking, lifted foul to the right side. Parker goes back, makes a heck of an effort. And she goes down, looks to be okay, but Parker went a long way for that ball.
She did. That was a great track. That's a hard ball to track whenever you're at first, because that's almost a directly overhead run that you're making. She crashed into that wall pretty hard. Thankfully, those side fences are padded. I've seen lots of fields where they're not, and whenever you bump, you don't bounce off. You just kind of crash. But you can see her almost catch that, tips off her glove a little bit, but bounced so hard she rolled off of it.
Great hustle, and tell you what, Ella Parker catches that ball in February. Mark my words. The 0-1 misses upstairs. Speaking of these walls being padded, I'm going to show my age a bit. The wall was wooden when I was in school for my freshman year. It was still wooden, and then and then it was padded, and we were ready to roll. But it was wooden. I actually take that back. My freshman and sophomore year. So the different faces of Marita Hines.
Kind of sounds like a humble brag there. I don't know.
I've got some stories. Nice. I'll keep them to myself. But the 1-2, little off speed, fools Brito.
Another one. She's been using the off speed a lot this inning very effectively. There's been some that have stayed straight and even, and then you've seen some that have dropped off.
Gearing ahead here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody on and 2 outs. She fires the 1-2 off speed again and just misses low. Woo. Count runs even 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Even I could see Kinsey Hansen smile behind her mask.
It didn't miss by much.
And again, that's still a great 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's a great location for that off speed, especially whenever you're going back to back.
2-2 hit well to deep center field. It's going to get down at the wall. Brito rounds first. Great throw from Jada Coleman, but Jennings not able to come up with it. Brito, the first hit of the night for the pink team with the 2-out double, and it was, we're going to call it a seed. No question.
Absolutely. This one launched. This is up in the zone. You can see Brito go out and take it. It's over the plate. And I think on that one, Jennings, she wanted to get the tag a little bit too soon. And you can tell from the smile on her face, she knew that she had her, just trying to apply the tag before she had the ball. Trapped it in the ground, but didn't quite get the tag on.
As the throw absolutely beat Brito to the bag.
Yeah, that was a great throw by Jada Coleman.
Ludlum stands in and takes the first pitch in for called strike 1. I mean, we all know this. Jada Coleman has a hose in center field, and it's almost funny to watch, you know, the interaction between Coleman and Jennings of laughing in like a we had it kind of way. So the 0-1 is laced down the left field line. Brito will score. Ludlum has a stand-up 2-out RBI double, and the pink team is on the board with a little bit of a 2-out rally.
Yeah, back-to-back +3s. They have been taking advantage of SJ being aggressive. You could see Ludlum a little bit off the plate, looking for that inside pitch. That was a great pitch, but because Ludlum's off the plate, that inside pitch all of a sudden becomes a pitch down the middle, and she's able to keep that fair, keep it over the head of Alina Torres over at third.
Lilio facing Guerin for the 2nd time in this half inning, hacking first pitch and pops it up in foul territory. Avery Hodge makes her way all the way to the fence, but almost came up with it.
This team, both sides we saw over at first, now we're seeing over at third. Foul balls in February, those are going to be caught, and you can see Hodge with the big smile on her face. She was tracking that ball down. That fence is 2 inches farther out, and she probably catches that. She actually almost flipped over the fence reaching for that.
Runner at second, 2 outs for Lilio. The 0-1 grounded foul down the right side, and Guerin ahead, as we've seen her much here tonight. No balls and 2 strikes.
I love Avery Hodge taking the moment to just catch that ball for SJ as the ball comes back into the circle and just talk to her for a second. Both of those hits were hard hits, and they were back-to-back, almost pitches apart. As a pitcher, things can start to speed up, things can start to snowball. Just taking the beat to slow down is important. You see that pitch on the outer half, almost in the strike zone. That was a pretty pitch in the river.
Good location, sets up the next pitch, and
if it's a righty, do you think that's called a strike?
Should be. That's where I'm at. It absolutely should be. Guerin fires the 1-2 up in the zone, but Lilio stays alive. And pink team looking to take the lead as far as runs go. All right, each team is on the board tonight as far as runs. 1 apiece, white, gray, and pink. Guerin brings the 1-2. Lilio stays alive, and you know, we've talked so much about the pitching and what we're seeing from these pitchers. Love the battle that we are seeing from this team offensively. Not that I mean, we don't expect it, but these hitters are making these pitchers work. Anything that is, even we've seen some really good pitches get hit pretty hard. 1-2 misses outside, and Guerin trying to get Lilio to chase that curveball. Count runs even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
From Lilio, I think I'm squatting down, waiting for that off speed, being able to stay disciplined, keep my hands back, foul off anything hard.
2-2, there's that curveball. Lilio can't lay off it for a 3rd time. Every single game. We talked so much about her passion. She just lives it in every single pitch.
And it's right there, so encouraging. It's in your face. You love it. You love every part of it.
And it's unapologetic, as it should be.
She's a fun one to watch.
Jennings stands in and takes the first pitch she sees from Kelly Maxwell upstairs. Into the top of the 3rd in these 3-pronged innings, I guess is what we're going to call them. It's the 1-0. Nice screwball in the outside corner for called strike 1. Jennings 0 for 2 here tonight with a pair of flyouts, both off of Maxwell. Maxwell rocks and fires and misses low and away. Brito at short, and we talked to Coach last week before this battle series started, filling the shoes of Grace Lyons graduating at short. As the 2-1 ground ball in the 5-6 hole gets past Brito at shortstop, and Tiare Jennings is aboard with her first hit of the night, and good piece of hitting by Jennings.
Yeah, Brito up the middle just a little bit. Jennings hard hit in the 5-6. I mean, it's hard to catch that whenever, even though it's a ground ball, it comes off the bat so quickly. Brito, she has quick reactions. You can tell she's on it immediately, but that ball hit too hard to get caught.
Jennings aboard for the first time tonight, bringing up Kinsey Hansen. K9 drew a walk back in the 2nd inning. And takes the first pitch for called strike 1, and had a little bit of oomph behind it from Kelly Maxwell. But kind of going back to talking about filling the shoes of Grace Lyons all the way around. I personally go back to defensively, right? And, Alyssa Brito in that mix. Tiare Jennings in that mix, as the 0-1 is hit well to right field, and it's going to get out of here. And K9 with the 2-run bomb here in the 3rd to give the white team a lead 3-1. But what a shot by K9, seeing the ball well and going oppo.
There was a fan out in left center who was waving her hands before that pitch. Sure, Kenzie saw her, just couldn't quite get it around. But man, we've seen a lot of the hard hits happening today. They've been chest to shoulder high. That pitch is over the shoulders of Kinsey Hansen. She's able to whip her hands through, get extended on that outer half, able to get it over right field fence. You can see Tiare Jennings cheering her on, arms swinging around as she's rounding the bases. That's huge. That one misses low to Riley Boone.
And that home run is brought to you by Paycom. Score big by letting employees do their own payroll. Learn more at paycom.com. White team on top, 3-1. As Riley Boone looks to keep things going. It's the 1-0, shows bunt, but pulls back and just misses inside. Kelly Maxwell, what's the response you want to see from Maxwell here?
I want to see her get ahead. I want to see her attack these hitters right on the corner. That firm pitch that we saw in the beginning. We were like, man, that one had a little bit more heat. Kinsey Hansen felt it. We felt it up here. You want to see those pitches. It's kind of a, hey, I'm here.
2-0 misses low.
That one got away, but we're here in this pitch right here, right now.
And I agree, Mindy. I mean, there are few pitchers in the country that I am a fan of as Coach Jen Rocha goes out to have a chat with Maxwell. But I have always been a huge fan of Kelly Maxwell, and the adjustment here tonight, again, just simply working ahead and not having to come into the zone so much. Maxwell does so well when she's able to throw those pitchers' pitches and work in the river and live just a little bit off the plate, right? And that's when we see her thrive. When you're behind the count, you can't do that.
Yeah, and you see Rocha couldn't catch most of it, but that last little bit, she said, go after him. Right here, all you. That's what she said. This is her 5th season. She is an incredible pitching coach, not only because of the way that she's able to call pitches, mastermind with that, but also being able to understand what the pitcher wants, what the pitcher needs, what they're expecting, how they're feeling, and able to respond in turn right away.
Meeting over, and Maxwell fires a strike to bring the count 3 balls and 1 strike to Riley Boone. Well, that's so important too. I mean, as a pitching coach, as a coach just in general, but to understand that each of your pitchers need a little bit something different from you. And I think Coach Rocha does that better than anybody in the business. 3-1. In for strike 2, count runs full, and Maxwell going after Riley Boone, just like Coach Rocha asked, right?
There's that response that we were talking about. The firm, hey, we're here. May have been 3-0, but now it's 3-2. Stay in this at bat.
To Boone, ground ball. Park is going to take it herself and win the foot race to first. Good response by Kelly Maxwell to sit Riley Boone down and bring the count back from 3-0. That's what you love to see from the senior.
Just the ability to respond that quickly. Just a mention from Rocha, just a timeout. That's so important to be able to have that and take it and continue to have that as February comes around, as the rest of the fall, as the rest of the battle series happens.
And a core first pitch right at Ella Parker, and she times it for the 2nd out of the inning. And we've talked so much about the freshman at the plate, but doing such a great job at first.
She looked a little surprised whenever she got it. I was watching her face as she was running in. In the batter's box, I think she looks completely confident. Here at first, just a little surprised. She's doing a great job, but you can see a little bit of confusion.
And you think, too, I mean, off the bat, as Jennings stands in, takes the first pitch low, but off the bat, it looked like it may have come off the bat harder than what it actually did.
Yeah.
Right? And Parker hanging in there, but been impressed with the freshman in all facets in these first 2 weeks. And make it a 2-hit inning for Jennings as she laces another in the 5-6 hole. Trying to get the rally started again with 2 outs, just as she did to start this 3rd inning.
Big smile from her. She's liking that spot right there. She knows that everything is going to come back over the plate, whether it starts on the outer half or whether it's coming in. Everything is going to be coming in towards her. So not trying to fight it and go the opposite way, but allowing that to aid her in how she hits that ball, especially whenever you have a wide open gap in the 5-6 and you hit it as hard as T.R. Jennings. That's a no-brainer.
Kinsey Hansen takes the first pitch way inside. Again, her 2nd at-bat of this inning. Hit the 2-run shot just a couple batters ago. Wouldn't it be, what a world where you can
go through 4 batters.
Exactly. Only have a few batters in an inning and everyone gets to hit multiple times in an inning.
You can feel Kelly trying to be a little bit too careful with Hansen, which you have to be, but I think the type of pitcher that she is, the type of movement that she's able to command, you have to go at her. You can't be trying to place it too much. Just allow your spin to do the work.
No, and you can see it. It just trying to be too careful, trying to be too perfect with her pitches.
mean, it's hard whenever you have a hitter like Kenzie Hansen.
2-0 catches a corner for strike one. No, absolutely. And also, too, you got to think about this, too. Kenzie Hansen catches Kelly Maxwell in the bullpen every day. It's hard to throw to your own catcher. I mean, it is. They know what your pitches do probably better than anybody. Maxwell fires the 2-1. Nice back door on the outside corner, but just misses outside. I like that location.
Yeah, that was a great location. You could tell Hansen wasn't expecting that pitch particularly. It was a good spot.
Maxwell behind here, 3 balls and a strike. Tiare Jennings at first base and 2 outs. So the 3-1 is lined to the right side, and it's going to get down foul. And count runs full. Quincy Lilio in right field. Team 1 so far tonight leading behind K9's 2-run shot in this inning. Up 3-1. Jennings will be off with the pitch here. Full count offering, misses low. It's a 2-out walk to bring up Riley Boone.
Riley Boone, a bit of a chance for redemption here. I talked a little bit earlier about Jennings and knowing where that ball is moving just naturally with Maxwell, how everything moves in towards her. Kind of the opposite whenever you're a lefty. Everything's going to be going away. So knowing when to catch it and when to allow that ball to go opposite and when to be able to say, okay, I'm going to pull that ball. I think right now we're seeing Boone hold off on that pitch on the outside corner. Great job by her. Kind of looking indecisive in between, does she want to hit that outside pitch or does she want to go for that inside? So Kelly, 2 outs. This is a great opportunity to continue to feed into that uncertainty and that questioning to be able to get a quick out.
1-0. Bunt laid down, and it's going to just roll foul. And I can tell you this much, that doesn't have that spin. Riley Boone is aboard without a doubt.
That was a beautiful bunt. Barely rolls foul, but Ludlam, she was out of the box immediately telling Maxwell, leave it, leave it, leave it, let it roll foul. It was great communication from her.
Boone trying to do anything she can to get something moving. 0 for 3 here tonight, but love the idea. Got to be ready for it again. Maxwell set to bring the 1-1. Popped up to the left side. The freshman Pickering is going to be underneath it, and that will do it. As far as power numbers go, I don't think they're going to be much different.
No, absolutely not. We got a new fresh crop of faces coming up, but one of them right here batting.
In 2021.
Parker, man, she has a ton of power. I was talking to you prior, before the game started, and I was like, man, you can just tell. We've talked about the smoothness and the efficiency of her swing. The way that she carries herself in the box, just so confident. You can feel it as a defense. You can feel it as a pitcher. It's nice to see that one low and outside in the dirt from May.
May behind here, 2 balls and a strike to the freshman. And had the double in the 2nd inning. One of the hardest hit balls we've seen here tonight. Probably right behind Kenzie Hansen's bomb at the top half of this inning. It's the 2-1. Ground ball to Burrito, and Kenzie Hansen stretching for the throw, but they will get Parker for the first out of the inning. And I believe, if my scorebook serves me right, that is the first leadoff out of an inning for Nicole May so far in this game.
That's huge, especially with who was batting. They've kind of been a duo, Ella Parker and Torres back-to-back.
Torres stands in, takes the first pitch outside for a ball.
That's how they scored their run back in the first inning. Is that 1-2 punch.
Torres, RBI double back in the first inning. Flew out in the second. May fires the 1-0. Pitch upstairs, but hit deep to center field. Boone is back, and she's gonna make the catch at the warning track and into the wall. And Riley Boone has got these fans on their feet. What a catch from Boone in center field.
That catch was fantastic. I think we can all react the same whenever we saw this. Immediately we're thinking, oh, that's out of the park. And you can see Riley Boone tracking it, slams headfirst into the wall, comes up and says, holy cow. I think that was my reaction. I think that was everybody else's.
I'll say this.
But being able to hang on to it is huge.
Huge, and making the play over the shoulder. And Mindy, you know this, as Avery Hodge stands in and takes the first pitch outside for a ball. There are fewer things tougher as an outfielder than something that is hit hard directly over your head.
Yeah.
Right? It's such a tough play to get a read on, and Riley Boone playing it beautifully. What a play.
Fantastic. Nicole May feeling some defensive love here.
1-0, missing low, and that's what you need, right? That's what Nicole May needs. Again, I don't feel like we've seen May's best stuff here tonight, but that's when you need your defense to step up. And that's what we've seen here in this inning as she fires the 2-0 and falls behind here. She misses low, 3 balls and no strikes to Avery Hodge. With nobody on and 2 outs here in the middle of the third. Hodge struck out back in the second, but drew a walk in her first at-bat. He fires a 3-0 and catches a corner.
May just trusting her pitches, trusting her defense. They certainly have shown why they're one of the best in the country.
3-1 to Hodge, popped up, and it's going to get out of play. May bringing the count back to run full, and great play in the stands. We got defense all over the place. Let's go.
Field in the stands, I'll tell you what, you will not see defense out of me unless I have a glove on. I applaud those who catch the ball barehanded. That will never be me. That will never be me. I will run away.
May brings the 3-2 to Avery Hodge, but misses upstairs. Hodge draws her second walk of the night to bring up Nellie McEnroe Marinas. And good at bat by Avery Hodge, especially when you can kind of feel some of the momentum on the defensive side of the ball after the catch by Riley Boone, but good discipline by Hodge in the box. Marinas, the freshman, hit by a pitch back in the second. She takes the first offering a little bit low, and again, so important for Nicole May to work ahead in counts.
I like that pitch if there's one strike on the board, but as an 0-0, you kind of want to get ahead and you want to assert yourself a little bit quicker.
1-0, Hodge off with the pitch, but it is fouled back and out of play. A little bit of hit and run action?
A little bit going on there, especially with the speed of Hodge. You could see her take off right away. Even so, I thought that was a great pitch by Nicole May. Last at bat, Nellie got hit on the thigh because that pitch was so inside. Kind of using that and say, I'm going right back in. I'm going to be tight on that inner half of the plate.
She does it again as Hodge takes off with the pitch, and she is safe at second base. And good jump by Avery Hodge. That'll be 10 points, I believe, right?
Yeah, plus 10 right there.
And good jump by Hodge.
Tough hop there for Jennings to be able to hold on to, but that was a great jump, great lead. And then notice how she slides to the back of the bag and keeps that foot on. That's kind of hard, but that was a great slide by Hodge, very heads up.
1-2 to Marinas. Just misses a little bit inside. That goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. I like the locations from May challenging McEnroe Marinas on the inner part of the plate, just like you mentioned, Nicole. The 2-2 ground ball right to Lilio at second base, and she's going to take care of it. And May works around a 2-out walk. We head to the bottom of the third where the pink team is due up. Different look for the pink team. And I will say this. Cassidy Pickering, set to lead it off for the pink team, but pink team so far in this game has 4 strikeouts, leading more than any other team that we've seen so far. 2 of those looking, but different look here coming from Kelly Maxwell. First pitch, Pickering sees, just catches the corner for strike 1. Pickering, the freshman from the Houston area.
A bit of H-Town love there.
There you go. As Maxwell fires the 0-1, misses low and in, and Pickering 0 for 2 here tonight. Caught looking back in the second.
Fun defense we have here. Torres at third. Avery Hodge at short. Kiara Jennings at second. That one catches the outer half. First,
nice curveball from Maxwell.
You have Ella Parker left, Hannah Core center, Jada Coleman, and right, Riley Boone. Saw her make a fantastic catch out in center last half inning. I don't know what to call it.
We'll call it the middle of the third as Pickering chases a pitch out of the zone, and that is the 2-strike pitch I feel like we've been wanting to see from Maxwell as she sits Pickering down on strikes.
This one, it starts as a strike, and it ends within the plate, but it just tails down, it tails off. It's so hard to lay off of, especially as a lefty. You already feel it going away from you, and it's going down. It's so hard to tell ball from strike at that point. Such a great pitch.
Alyssa Brito takes the first pitch upstairs, and Brito scored the lone run of the night for the pink team. Had a double in the second, and I think some of you are hearing us say this, that was a seed. Well, we're kind of going back to, again, that internal scoring system as the 1-0 just misses.
I think maybe Pyre thinking it's too high on that back door.
I hesitated for a minute because I thought it was a strike.
I thought it was too, but that's what I'm thinking, because that was on the plate. That was a good pitch. Maybe just a little high.
Maxwell behind here, 2 balls and no strikes. As Brito swings through a pitch out off the plate. We're seeing Kelly Maxwell start to kind of settle in here, throw those pitchers, and get these hitters to expand their zone.
You can feel her cadence start to change as well. It's starting to speed up a little bit. There's more of a rhythm to it. Every pitcher finds her rhythm. That's when it's dangerous as a hitter.
Maxwell brings the 2-1. Lace to center field. It's going to get down and past Jada Coleman. Brito is on her horse, and she will slide in safely for her second double of the night. Coleman, a little slow to get up in center field. It looks to be okay, but that is the second absolutely smashed ball we have seen off of Brito's bat here tonight.
Brito waiting on that. You could see Coleman having to run back a little bit. I think she was a little shallow for that hit to be able to cut it off in time. See Coleman taking a deep breath. That was a good job running it down, tracking it down, throwing it back in, but just a little shallow for how hard that ball was hit.
Riley Ludlam, senior transfer, stands in and takes the first pitch for a called strike, but I was kind of getting back to this a little bit, the internal scoring system that is going on, again, for each individual player, also going on for each team. We've used the term seed a little bit throughout this game as the 0-1 misses low, but there are so many different pieces of technology and things going on during this game. Seeing the mile per hour of the ball off the bat, a seed, I believe, is over 60 miles an hour. Is that what we decided?
Yeah. That's something that Oklahoma works to achieve That one misses just inside from Kelly. But being able to increase the speed of the ball as soon as it makes contact with your bat, the higher the speed is, the higher odds, whether it's on the ground, in the air, wherever it is, the higher your odds are of getting on base. So for Oklahoma, they're saying, hey, we want to see hard hit balls. That's the point. Even if it goes straight to somebody, harder it's hit, more likely there's an error going to be made. Whatever it is, your chances go up. So we want to notice that. We want to recognize it. We want to give you points for it.
2-2 is swung straight through, and Kelly Maxwell sits down Riley Ludlam for the second out of the inning, and good response to follow up the double from Alyssa Brito.
Yeah, and then we talked about her finding her rhythm and being able to find her speed. Alyssa Brito absolutely rocketed that pitch. It was a rocket for sure, +3, but Cassidy Pickering, and then with Ludlam, 2 strikeouts right away, not phased, being able to jump back in, get that strikeout, and then get that first pitch strike on Lilio on that outer half. She is attacking, and you can feel it, you can see it, you can sense it. The intensity has changed from her.
The 0-1 pitch to Lilio is line foul down the third baseline. Maxwell ahead here, no balls and 2 strikes on Quincy Lilio. A little bit of a tough night at the plate, 0 for 2 with a pair of Ks. And Maxwell ahead here, no balls and 2 strikes. Looking to work around the Alyssa Brito double. Maxwell fires the 0-2 and misses in the dirt. Good job by Kinsey Hansen behind the plate. K9. I've always just been so impressed in the way that she handles this pitching staff. Just has such a calming demeanor behind the plate. 1-2's fouled off, and Lilio stays alive.
I was going to say, too, I've been watching her tonight, and she'll kind of, after a pitch, move her glove a certain way, say to herself, hey, I wanted to get my glove around that a little bit more. I wanted to be a little bit firmer. You can see her giving herself feedback, and you see it with a lot of defense, a lot of offense right away. That one.
1-2 lined up the middle. Here comes Brito, and she's going to slide in to score as Lilio gets her first hit of the night and gets the pink team on the board for their second run of the game. And good piece of hitting by Quincy Lilio.
Yeah, that is that redemption right there. Hard hit ground ball. She was out in front, but being able to keep her barrel through the ball all the way, not trying to come off too quickly. You could feel her body out in front. But the reason why that ball was hit as hard as it was just she kept that chest down. She didn't try to come up too soon. That ball was an absolute rocket. And again, redemption. Last 2 at-bats she struck out, being able to not only get on base, but have a hard hit and to be able to score a run for her team. That's huge.
Here's something I love about the battle series as Cassidy Pickering stands in with a runner at first base and 2 outs. As soon as that play developed, Brito scores, everything's kind of done. Coach Gasso immediately out into the circle to have a chat with Kelly Maxwell, and also the freshman Ella Parker, talking about where our cuts should be, where everyone needs to be in that situation. So just an amazing amount of learning, an amazing amount of teaching going on. And, you know, you see that stuff in practice, but I think it's really cool for the fans to see all of that going on.
Feedback.
It's like, yes. It's the 1-0. Nice curveball on the outside corner for called strike 1. But getting...
Pickering, actually, one of the few that's actually up in the box against Maxwell. Trying to look to cut off that curve before it gets to her.
1-1, misses in the dirt. But you almost get the feeling as this is all kind of happening. Again, another packed house here tonight. Sooner Nation out in droves to see the battle series, but you almost feel like these fans get a little bit of a peek behind the curtain, right? Of getting to see some of the things that go on you know, in practice. Getting to see some of the things that go on beyond just seeing the show of a game in the middle of April. This count runs 2-2.
It's players developing, it's players learning. Like you said, Ella Parker not used to being in that situation. Coach telling her, in this moment, we're here. Whenever this happens, we're here. Quick, boom, bam, we're moving on. But we're learning, and that's the pace of how it is in a normal practice.
2-2 misses outside, and count runs full to the freshman, Cassidy Pickering. Big pitch here for Kelly Maxwell. We're going to minimize the damage here in the bottom of the third after an RBI single from Quincy Lilio. Here comes the 3-2 ground ball cut off by Torres. She's going to fire it across, and that'll do it. Pink team leaves one stranded, but not before they push one across. And we get to hear a little bit more of that passion.
I love the trot that she made all the way from third out to center field, just to give a quick left tap to Riley Boone after that insane catch. And she was just like, hey, good job. And then she runs back. I love that.
It's so cool to hear Brito and watch all the things that she does as Hannah Core stands in to face Nicole May, shows bunt, pops it up, and Lutlam makes a diving catch right behind the plate for the first out of the inning. One pitch, one out. And Riley Lutlam showing a little leather.
Where that barrel head gets a little flat, so that causes it to pop up, especially with Nicole May's spin. It's up. If you don't have a good grip on the top half of that barrel, it's going to pop up. But Ludlam, that ball popped up, but then it kind of started to go behind her. That was a great job by her to keep tracking it all the way into the glove.
We've seen a couple really quick reactions from the Furman transfer.
I love that. I also love it whenever I see catchers make diving plays. That to me is like robbing a home run. I think those are so few and far between. They're so fun to watch.
First pitch to Jennings. Misses low. Tiare 2 for 4 here tonight with a pair of singles right through the 5-6 hole.
Those were off Kelly Maxwell. Now we have Nicole May in the circle, so a little bit of a different mix-up.
Different look. Nicole May earning points for the pink team. Now throwing against the white team. Jennings came around to score a run in the third. The white team ahead 3-2 to 1 as we've got 3 teams offensively. And the 3-0 catches the corner for called strike 1. Good to see a little bit of a grin from Nicole May.
Talk about somebody who's faced each other. Jennings and May came in together. That one misses low. Jennings will take the walk, but they came in together. They know a lot about each other. They're going to finish up together. They know a lot about each other. They know how the mindset is whenever they're hitting. They know what the mindset is whenever May's pitching. It's a challenge every time, and sometimes you want to second guess. The best result always comes whenever you say, you know what, this is what I'm going with. I'm committing to it 100%. You're more likely to get a better result whenever you commit to it 100%. We saw a little bit of that from Kelly Maxwell last half inning. You felt her commit to her pitches and decide, yep, this is where it's going. I'm finding my groove. Saw a much better performance from her, too.
Kinsey Hansen stands in to face Nicole May for first time tonight. Pitch just misses a little bit low, and Kinsey Hansen, 1 for 2, but a 2-run shot. The only bomb we've seen here tonight. We saw a few last week in game 1 of the Battle Series, but Hansen, the lone home run here this evening. The 1-0 misses a little bit low.
It's not too late. We're only in the 4th. We got 2 more.
I like your style.
Triple innings.
There you go. Triple innings. I like it. We're in the top of the 4th. Again, so many different things going on in this Battle Series. Not just the runs being scored, but the scoring system for nearly every pitch. Something that can be earned by every player. It's the 2-1. It's in for a strike. Just froze K9 on the inner part of the plate. Colme brings a 2-1, and it is chopped down the third baseline and foul. Colme bringing the count back to even it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
A bit of an update on the scoring. No surprise for Team 1, Team White. Kinsey Hansen is taking the charge with the bonus of the RBIs and the home run. She's leading with 85 points. Team 2, you have Kelly Maxwell with 48. She did a great job last half inning, so she upped her points, got a lot of outs, quick outs, early strikes. That all helps out the pitchers whenever they're looking to earn points, looking to get up in there. And then Nicole May leading Team 3 with 58 points, but not too far behind Alyssa Brito. She has 56.
Nicole May set to bring the 3-2 to Kinsey Hansen. Pitch is laced to left field and falls in right in front of Cassidy Pickering. And Kinsey Hansen, her second hit here of the night. She's seeing the ball well.
Yeah, again, another one up in the zone. That's where Kinsey Hansen hit that home run. She's been seeing those high pitches really well.
And doing such a good job of handling pitches up in the zone. It's so easy to pop those pitches up, and Kinsey Hansen just reading the pitch up and knocking the line drive single to bring up Riley Boone. Runners at first and second, nobody out as Boone shows bunt but pulls it back for called strike 1. Boone 0 for 3 here tonight. Or 0 for 4, excuse me, with a pair of strikeouts.
Getting a little bit of action call in from Coach Gasso.
0-1, fouled straight back, and good hack from Riley Boone.
See Coach there. She's not afraid to call plays and action calls because that's something that the team works on all the time. That is something that she might not call it all the time, but if she does, she has confidence that the team is going to be ready.
0-2 popped up foul and out of play.
Once you see that card pop out, just always keep a head on a swivel whenever that happens.
There's so many things too, especially in this battle series, that go into it. You know, you want to see, as a coach, you want to see offensively. You want to see your hitters execute, but you also want to see how your defense responds. May fires the 0-2. Ground ball right back to May. She'll try to spin it for 2, but it gets away and out into center field. Jennings will score. Here comes Hansen rounding to score, and Boone will slide into third after the error is thrown out into center field. And just like that, Team White puts a pair on the board, and Riley Boone takes advantage of a defensive miscue.
Yeah, I mean, again, shortstop, there's a lot of newness. Brito and Lelio going to cover at the same time. You could see Brito last minute kind of flinch. I don't know if it was a lighting or if she thought Lelio was coming at there, but immediately they're talking to each other. They're trying to figure out what went wrong, how they could be better. I thought that was a great heads-up play by Nicole May, getting 2 outs quickly. Just miscue right there. A little bit of communication. You can see her, Nicole May, get a little bit of frustration on her face. That's all part of it. That's fall. It's learning. It's adjusting. It's moving on. But it is cool to see the communication happening in real time. It's cool to see the adjustments happening in real time because, like you said, most of the time this stuff happens behind the curtain. So fans are getting an inside look of how do they learn, how do they adjust. You're so used to seeing Grace Lyons at short, you don't notice how much communication had to go into that to become as seamless and flawless as it was.
And of course shows bunt on what looked to be a squeeze. It pops it up foul. Count runs to 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, Coach Gasso pulling out the card and putting things in to say, let's go, execute, get things done, defense, respond. Runner at third, 1 out. As May brings the 1-1. Popped up foul, and May ahead here, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
See, defense is ready, not just to get an out, but to get out anywhere. I can see Jada Coleman out in center field practicing what it would be like to catch a fly ball and throw it into home. They're ready. They're itching for something out in the outfield. Defense, they're wanting to make up for it. They're wanting to get outs.
1-2, swung on and missed. Nicole May with the strikeout of Hannah Core. We'll bring up Tiare Jennings. And you know what? I love, talking about watching Jada Coleman, and what a pitch from Nicole May.
That one stays low in the zone. We haven't seen a ton of pitches right at the knee that stay there the entire time. It's one of the few screwballs that Nicole May, she'll occasionally pop that in. That pitch is so good.
Jennings stands in, started this inning with a walk, came around to score. She takes the first pitch in for called strike 1. But you're talking about Jada out in center field, practicing catching the fly ball. You know that Jada Coleman wanted to be in a position to potentially try to throw Riley Boone out on a sacrifice fly at home.
Oh, absolutely.
You know that the competitor in her, as the 0-1 just misses low, is going, please hit me a fly ball so I can have the challenge of throwing out a tagging Riley Boone at home. Jennings awaits the 1-1. Just misses upstairs, gets away from Ludlam. She recovers quickly to keep Riley Boone at third base. Just popping out of her glove. We've seen that happen a few times here tonight.
Yeah. So these pitchers, they have great late movement, and you really got to track it all the way in. This one a little bit up in the zone. Those are the tricky ones, because whenever they're high, you're like, oh, I got it, and then they just rise up just half an inch, and you can see Riley Boone kind of scurry like she was going to head home. But Ludlam did a good job once she missed it to be able to recover it quickly. You could see the hustle. You can see the quick reaction from her. That was huge because that saved a run.
2-1, misses a little low, and May falls behind 3 balls and a strike to Jennings. Jennings for her 3rd hit of the night. Popped up on the infield. Alyssa Brito calls everybody off, and she'll take the can of corn for the 3rd out of the inning.
This is the new Palace on the Prairie.
And it's going to be,
version.
Yes, and it's going to be the best in the country. And amazing to see, again, thinking of how far this program has come. I mean, when Coach Gasso got here, they were playing across the street at Reeves Park. So much history there. Then Marita Hines and all of the absolute greatness that came here. And Jada Coleman shows bunt, and it's a beauty down the 3rd baseline. But Kinsey Hansen throws her out at first base. Jada Coleman asking for a review. But Kinsey Hansen says, not on my watch.
She said, Tried to be sneaky, but she wasn't having it.
Popping out quickly, and what a bunt, but an even better play by K9.
Watch her position her body to go through towards first base. She wasn't catching it, turning and rotating. She was setting up her body. She went around to be able to throw through first base. That was a great play by Hansen.
Kirsten Deal enters the game in the circle, and as always, our pitching changes are brought to you by Love's Travel Stops, the heart of the highway. And Deal, the sophomore lefty, really came into her own at the end of last season. Got a quick out to face the gray team and Jada Coleman. She's set to face Alina Torres. I've really been impressed with Deal and the way that she's kind of come into her own, and just how much growth we saw from her in that freshman season.
Yeah, it's been so fun to see her mindset change a little bit on the mound. You could see her whenever she first came. I'm thinking of the Battle Series last year. Kind of timid, trying to find her way around the strike zone.
Torres misses upstairs.
Just the way she goes after her pitches. She's not looking around after a pitch. She's set, ball back to me. Ball or strike doesn't really matter. I'd love to see that growth from her. And I think it's because of all the chances that she got improved throughout the season this past spring. And she's just carrying that over.
3-0 is in for called strike one, and Deal looking to bring the count back to Torres. But no, it's so awesome to see a pitcher like Deal who has an unbelievable amount of talent. I mean, her ceiling is astronomically high, but see the confidence in the shift as the 3-1 is lifted to center field, but Riley Boone is under it to make the catch. And I like talking about confidence in Kirsten Deal. What a great pitch behind the count on 3-1 to get the pop-up of Alina Torres.
For a second, I thought we might see another catch from Riley Boone. That one didn't go quite as far, but it was Torres who hit that ball last time. So she's been seeing the ball really well. She had that RBI down the line. She had that slam out to center field. Boone just made a great catch. That one just a little under, but she's been hitting the ball really well tonight.
2 quick outs brings up Avery Hodge, and first pitch to Hodge misses outside. Avery's drawn a pair of walks here tonight. He's been stranded both times, but seeing the ball well, showing good discipline on the left side of the box, or the plate, I should say. The 1-0 misses upstairs, and Deal falls behind 2-0. This is where I want to see, again, a pitcher's pitch and a hitter's count. Deal rocks and fires, and that's exactly what we asked for.
That one, a little bit more heat to it. Cross plate, but also kind of went from north to south. That was a great pitch. You could see Hodge trying to swing, fell it off, hold up, but couldn't really tell. But either way, it was a great pitch. Good swing and miss.
2-1, popped up, foul. Count runs even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Deal looking for a 1-2-3 inning. She's entered this game in the middle of the 4th. Nobody on, 2 outs. It's the gray team. 1 run on the board tonight.
Came out early and really aggressive, hard hits, strung a few together.
2-2 misses upstairs, and count runs full.
Ever since, so they've kind of been lulled a little bit. They've been making good contact, but it's just not able to string a couple hits together to be able to get those runs across those runners who are standing on second being stranded.
Deal brings the 3-2, popped up to the left side. Brito gives chase, and she's gonna make
the sub one to the end of season against the best of the best. That to me is the most impressive.
It's a Brito. It's a ball, and it's gonna fall right in front of Jada Coleman, who tries to make a diving catch but doesn't quite get the glove underneath. And it falls in for a single for Alyssa Brito off of Peyton Monticelli. But gotta love the effort, and you gotta love the showmanship from Jada Coleman. She made you think she caught it.
I just trapped it barely, but you could see as soon as she knew that she didn't catch it, she came up ready to throw from the knees out to first. She was feeling it.
And what a tough play just in general, but also Jada Coleman attacked that like she knew she was going to catch it. But how often do you see an outfielder dive after that ball and then it winds up getting past him or scooting away from him? Just played so well by Jada Coleman, nearly made the catch. But Brito is aboard with a leadoff single off of Peyton Monticelli, who enters the game, and we got a Nicole May at first base. Let's go. It's the Battle Series. You be ready when your number's called.
I mean, we've seen a lot of switching and changing defensive positions.
Riley Ludlam stands in to face Peyton Monticelli. Monticelli, the Wisconsin transfer, comes into this game with 149 points, racked up a ton of points in the first game last week. As Ludlam lines a shot right at Jennings, and they're gonna double off Brito at first base. Coach Steele saying no, May was off the bag. And Brito's gonna stay put, but as it stands now, it's a double play on the line drive. Hit well by Ludlam.
Let's watch this replay.
Brito clearly not back in time.
Yeah.
But Fale of U Steele is saying May pulled her foot.
That was a great stick by Nicole May. Coach Gasso out here trying to wheel and deal, but I think that one,
and
just clap my hands together, we're done with that. That should be a double play right there.
Coach Gasso having a conversation, a little bit of a grin on her face, looking at Coach Steele saying, come make your case. Come plead your case.
Again, a little bit of the behind the curtain. You get to see the personality. You get to see Coach play around. You get to see the team get fired up. I love this emotion.
And Fale Steele, previously Fale of U, we all know her, one of the great Sooners to wear an OU uniform.
She's a trickster through and through.
But gotta love to see the passion. It is indeed a double play, and it's 2 quick outs for Monticelli to bring up Quincy Lilio, and first pitch fired in for a strike. And we've heard Coach talk about it and even say Monticelli is the hardest thrower on the staff.
Oh, absolutely. You can feel it whenever she's coming at you. There's a lot of heat behind her pitches.
0-1 is hit well to left field. Hannah Core on her way back, and she's going to make the catch at the warning track. Got a little bit turned around, but was able to spin and make the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. It's a quick inning for Peyton Monticelli. We head to the top of the 5th.
That they were special, but I don't think any of us really knew or anticipated just how special they would be. 'Cause, I mean, it's kind of hard. Everyone is pretty special whenever you come to Oklahoma. You think of pitchers like Kaylani Ricketts, Paige Parker, and then you have hitters like Lauren Chamberlain, Jocelyn Allo throughout, and it's so hard to be that stand out, that much of a star. But this class has found a way, each and every single one of them in their own way has found a way to be that person, to be that class, and they've really, really led the charge. I remember Coach Gasso talking about whenever she first signed them. How excited.
Kinsey Hansen here in the 5th. And ground ball right to Avery Hodge. She's going to backhand it, but the throw is going to pull Nicole May off the bag at first base, and Kinsey Hansen is aboard. Avery Hodge doing a good job up the middle and backhanding it, but not quite able to finish the play as the throw goes a little bit wide.
See, that's one of those tough skips. Those in-betweeners, you don't really know whether to come and get it, and especially with it taking Hodge deep back towards second base, that's a hard one to make, but she did a good job recovering. It was just a little wide on that throw.
You know, and Avery Hodge, a sophomore, so smooth in everything that she does as Riley Boone stands in. But, you know, I think back to things that I've heard Coach Gasso say about defense, as Riley Boone has a chopping slap right back to Deal in the circle. She's going to spin and throw her out at first base. Good job by Deal fielding her position as Kinsey Hansen moves up into scoring position. Deal being on top of it quickly. The lefty having to spin around.
See, as whenever she's coming up, she already knows where she's throwing. Didn't have to make a lot of extra movements. Good stretch by Nicole May. Pitcher to pitcher action there.
Nicole May getting her work in at first base.
I know.
Hannah Core stands in with Kinsey Hansen at second base. First pitch misses low. But kind of going back, talking about, you know, some of the changes that we will see defensively for this team this year. You know, younger players getting some opportunities potentially. But, you know, I go back and I think about some of the things that Coach Gasso preaches defensively, and I go back to the play with Hannah Core. you know, there's a difference between urgency and panic, right? You've got to be urgent, but you still have to stay controlled. And I think that's something we're going to continue to see this team defensively, especially with some of these young players, continue to grow with in this battle series even. Steal behind in the count here. 2 balls and no strikes to Hannah Core. Runner at second and 1 out. It's the 2-0, just catches the corner. Nice screwball for called strike 1.
See, Ludlam, just like Hansen, they've both done a good job working behind the plate, trying to get those river calls for their pitchers. It's been literally a battle for them tonight. A lot of pitches, a lot of mix-ups, seeing a lot of different pitches.
2-1 is lifted to right field. Quincy Lilio is going to take care of it and fire it in, but Kinsey Hansen's going to tag and move up to third base. Hannah Core put a good swing on it. She's retired for the second out of the inning to bring up Tiare Jennings.
Great tag by Hansen, able to get in and out really quick. That was a hard throw by Lilio to get in, but automatically that tag and go, that commitment to getting to that next bag helped Hansen move forward 60 feet.
Jennings been aboard 3 times here tonight, and that ball's out of here. Tiare Jennings just hit the Jumbotron in left field.
I mean, what can't this girl do? We were talking about this class and how they have been in a league of their own. Jennings is one of the best hitters in the nation, and she's been showing it tonight. Doesn't matter who's pitching against her. Her hands, that ball, it's gonna go.
And another pitch up in the zone, and
I mean, especially whenever it's up in the zone, over the middle of the plate, not on the corners, that's too tempting for Jennings. She's too good of a hitter to not have that result right there.
That home run's brought to you by Paycom. Score big by letting employees do their own payroll. Learn more at paycom.com. And that shot brings up Kinsey Hansen, who's swinging first pitch. Is going to line it right back up the middle. Back-to-back hard-hit balls off of Kirsten Deal, and Kinsey Hansen adding to the 2-out rally. And her 3rd base hit of the night. And I got to say this, so there's also, again, that internal scoring system as Riley Boone stands in with a runner at first and 2 outs. On top of getting points for a home run, there's 40 points for a home run that obviously Tiare Jennings just earned. But there's also points that can be added for what we call a tank. All right, a tank is 250 feet or further. Had that ball not hit the Jumbotron, I think it absolutely would have been a tank.
It would have been in that or further category, I think.
Absolutely, as Riley Boone hits it well, but right at Alyssa Brito at short, and that's going to end the inning. But the white team starting to run away with it. 7 runs. Why Hansen is our Riverwind Casino difference maker of the game. Riverwind Casino, it's always a good time, and Hansen has had a heck of a night.
Yeah, 128 points tonight. I mean, if that doesn't say it, I don't know what does.
Just all over everything that she has put in play tonight has been hit hard. And always doing what she does defensively. As Peyton Monticelli rocks and fires to the freshman Nellie McEnroe Marinas. Has had here 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Monticelli just bringing it. And we talk so much. I mean, she's pumping the gun consistently. In the upper 60s, around 70 miles per hour. It's the 1-2. Nice curveball, just paints the outside corner and freezes McEnroe Marinas for the first out of the inning.
I think she's such a good offset to the rest of the staff. You have a lot of lefties who have great spin. Monticelli is out here, and that's an off speed, but the way that she's able to interchange that with her hard and the way she's able to get close to the 70s and that power. And don't forget, there's a huge stride that comes with that. So that release point's a little bit closer. There's a lot more power. There's a lot more speed.
Jada Coleman stands in, nobody on, and 1 out.
It's a good adjustment to have to make as an offense or an opposing team.
First pitch to Jada, misses inside. But no, I absolutely agree, Mindy. And, you know, there's such a huge difference, too, when you have an effective off speed, as the 1-0 catches the outside corner for a called strike. But when you have that velocity, but you have that effective off speed, I mean, it's tough for any hitter to settle in the box and get any sort of time. Monticelli brings the 1-1. This is way inside to Jada Coleman. I mean, gets out of the way just in time. So much throws the bat.
She threw her bat up in the air.
This pitch coming way into Jada.
Ooh.
And again, we've talked about that velocity.
Somebody needs to make that a meme.
The 2-1 is fouled off and out of play. Count runs even 2 balls and 2 strikes. I feel like that pitch is showing Monticelli's velocity in real time. Do whatever you can to get out of the way.
Right there. It's just throw the bat if you have to. You just don't want to get hit by it. Coleman's already been hit once in the elbow back in the first inning. Not trying to get it again, but she'll take the K.
Monticelli gets her waving after going way inside. And, you know, we've talked so much about that pitch calling coming from Coach Jen Rocha. You go high and hard in, and then you get the wave on a pitch off the plate on the outside corner. And great location from Monticelli.
And that pitch is firm. It would be different if it's a slower pitch, but that's still a firm pitch on that low and outside corner. You can see Jada Coleman, after she swung, she smiled. She knew that was the setup. But Monticelli is just going at them.
Back-to-back Ks for Monticelli. Brings up Alina Torres and takes a first pitch strike. But you already said it, Mendez. Going right at these hitters. Challenging them, going inside. She fires the 0-1, and it's popped up to the right side. Lilio's underneath it. She gloves, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Peyton Monticelli. Monticelli coming in, throwing well. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Peak team due up.
You stay out if it's really important, and there's a good amount of fans here that are willing to sacrifice an early night in on a weeknight to come watch these Sooners play some softball. That's impressive.
Best fans in the country, no question.
Hands down.
Best fans in the country. Monticelli back to work. We saw her in the middle of the 5th, and she's going to close out the game here in the bottom of the 5th as she's ahead here. No balls and 2 strikes to Cassidy Pickering. And I gotta say this, Monticelli working with some tempo, getting the ball back, working quickly, getting her signs, and just she has been going to work since she's been in this ball game. Set to fire the 0-2 to Pickering. Pickering stays alive and fouls it off. Pickering 0 for 3 here tonight with a pair of Ks. Monticelli toes the rubber, gets her sign again, working very efficiently. And Pickering just getting enough of it on that outside corner to flare him off.
Yeah, you can tell the speed, you can tell the efficiency. I like that little, I got you. There's a little bit of energy, there's a little bit of pep behind it. But I mean, that swing that Pickering had, very defensive. She's looking for something slower, but very defensive. That's right where you want her.
And speaking of defensive swings, Monticelli just going right after these hitters and picking up the strikeout. We're looking at Monticelli. That is her 3rd strikeout in a row as she threw the middle of the 5th as well, bringing up Alyssa Brito. And Team Pink, last shot to catch the white team as far as runs go. First pitch misses upstairs. And
even still, the chance to be able to win this inning, they just have to score 3 runs. That's how you have to think about it in terms of points. It's continuing to win the innings. The team that wins the most innings typically will win the game. We've seen that with White. That ball misses low. We've seen that with White. They've been able to score every inning except for the first one. Not a ton, but just enough. Gray struggling. They scored early and then haven't scored since. Seen pink here and there.
Monticelli behind 2 balls and no strikes to Brito as she misses low and falls behind 3 balls and no strikes. First time we've really seen Monticelli behind an account since she's entered this ball game. You know, kind of talking, Nicole, about each team winning an inning. Team 1 has 30 points so far in this game just from picking up those 10 points for winning an inning. And green light for Brito on the 3-0 as she pops it up to the right side. Riley Boone gloves it for the second out of the inning. And Riley Boone sits down Brito. 2 quick outs for Monticelli. Brings up Riley Ludlam. Last hope for the pink team here.
Ludlam's had a couple of hard hits, line drives, 1+3. She's had a good game herself as well. Her last hit was against Monticelli. It was that hard line drive up the middle. At off speed. Just when you think you have her tempo and her speed figured out and you're sitting that hard pitch that's in or out, Monticelli comes with that off speed. Man, that is deceptive. That is dirty.
And Monticelli had a good week in the Battle Series Game 1. Again, 149 points. She's racked up some points here tonight as well. And I feel like what we've seen from Monticelli as she set to fire the 1-1 to Riley Ludlam. Growth just in a week. She's around the zone more as 1-1 misses upstairs. But just seeing confidence in Monticelli. Being very deliberate with her pitch locations.
Always helps whenever you have your defense, whenever you have Jen Rocha helping you along. That, I don't want to say feels easy, but I feel like it is a natural next step into how you learn and how you grow as a pitcher.
2-1 misses inside. And Monticelli falls behind 3 balls and 1 strike. And 3-1 misses low, and Ludlam is aboard with a 2-out walk here in the bottom of the 5th, which will be the final half inning of this ball game. Bring up Quincy Lilio, the runner first and 2 outs. No, I absolutely agree, Nicole. And you know, you also too, you think about all of the things that have gone into just a short amount of time. I mean, this team didn't start practice immediately when they came back in August. They took a little bit of a break to let everyone kind of get their bearings to start the school year and coming off travel ball for the freshmen and just coming off a long season. As Lilio pops the first pitch, she sees up, and it's going to carry and get out of play. But there's a lot of new faces on this team, but there's a lot of new faces in this pitching staff.
Yeah.
And, you know, just to see how far they've come so quickly is such a testament to what Coach Jen Rocha does on a daily basis. And not just the physical aspects of it, but the mental aspects of it.
Yeah, it really has to be a staff in this day and age of softball. It's hard to do it on your own. That one on that inside corner, I thought just a little inside, but that was a good pitch. Calls the ball.
See Avery Hodge at short, shaded a little bit up the middle. Monticelli fires the 1-1, laced deep to right field. And Quincy Lilio says, "Get off me, ball." And puts a pair of runs on the board for the pink team here in the bottom of the 5th to make it 7-4. And the pink team, a little bit of a 2-out rally.
One more run and they'll win the inning.
And Quincy Lilio squaring up a pitch and taking Monticelli deep.
Monticelli, even with that power, whenever you leave it elevated over the middle of the plate, that is what happens. Lilio doesn't try to do too much. Sometimes whenever you see those perfect pitches down the middle, right around your eyes, they get really big and you want to lunge and get after it, get all eager to go and swing. Stayed really within herself, stayed really, really confident. Nice and easy swing. That ball, that had to have been a +3.
And home runs brought to you by Paycom. Score big by letting employees do their own payroll. Learn more at paycom.com. As Monticelli looks to end the inning and still give the white team an opportunity to win the points for the inning, as Pickering fouls off the 1-0 out of play, and count runs even to 1 ball and 1 strike.
See all the kids scurrying after it.
It has been a very active crowd here tonight. We've got young girls here, young boys, all so many ball uniforms, chasing every single foul ball. It's been such a great atmosphere. The 1-1 is lifted and hit well to left field, and Pickering makes it back-to-back bombs for the pink team. All done here in the bottom of the 5th inning with 2 outs, and the freshman gets her first hit of the night, and it's a big one.
And there it is, that 3rd run right there. Team Pink, they win this last half inning. That was huge. Again, it wasn't overwhelming, trying to swing, trying to do too much. Short, simple, to the point. Monticelli, this one, not as elevated as Lilio's pitch, but still over the plate just a little bit too much. But with as much speed and power as she gives, you make contact with that. That's kind of the result that you'll see.
Pickering's home run brought to you by Paycom. Score big by letting employees do their own payroll. Learn more at paycom.com. Back-to-back Paycom home runs for the pink team. Brings up Alyssa Brito. And Coach Jen Rocha out there having a conversation with Peyton Monticelli. And, you know, you see the grins at the end of the day. You got to get the feeling, you know, those conversations are around the terms of throw your pitches, let your pitches work. Just do your thing. We've seen Monticelli really be dominant here tonight. A little bit of a road bump here after the back-to-back shots by Quincy Lilio and Cassie Pickering as Alyssa Brito comes to the plate. Jammed in the 5-6 hole. Avery Hodge diving and does a good job of keeping it on the dirt. But Alyssa Brito keeping the inning alive for the pink team. Bringing up Riley Ludlam. You got to love the fight coming in the final half inning of this ball game.
Yeah, just passing the bat, not trying to do too much, just get on base, make contact.
Ludlam takes the first pitch she sees inside for called strike 1. And I think you already said it, Nicole, but the pink team has won this inning, correct?
They have, so that's 2 innings, I believe, that they've won.
Put the pink team with earning 20 points just in innings 1 so far here tonight. The 1-1 misses upstairs. And just because, so we see the runs on the board. Right now, white team ahead, 7 over the pink team, 5, and gray only putting 1 run on the board here tonight. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the white team has earned the most points overall. As the 1-1, nice pitch on the inside corner for called strike 2, and Monticelli ahead here, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runner at first and 2 outs.
Monticelli trying to get this game over with.
Slam the door, as they say, and that's exactly what Monticelli is gonna do. Little bit of change of speeds gets Ludlam on the swing through for the final out of the ball game, and love the response from Monticelli.
I do too. The result of those 2 home runs, not what you want, but the result of the response, that's exactly
Music by तुहर गौरा यादत गौरा कहाला पोतिया ना सुनेलू तू सुनेलू जीत पर तू रहेलू बड़ा गलती बाटे ना बोलेलू और जी को के बर्बादी अब गइनी हम हार असरी बद देवे चल के बा बंदे के भूमि पर्वत पहाड़ गजा खाती सारी रात होके कितनो दिन तो ठंडे के बाटे फल आइल बाटे तो मंडे के भंगिया तो है सिर्फ संडे के अब कोरी हमर इंतजार किस्म संडे के ऋषभ रिकॉर्डिंग स्टूडियो सिमरा।